On September 12, 2025, the cosmos delivered a shock no one saw coming. Astronomers detected something that shattered every assumption about how the universe behaves. A colossal object blazing in from the darkness, its luminous tail stretching 5 times wider than the full moon. Even backyard telescopes could see it cutting through the night. Within hours, it became clear, this wasn't a comet. It was something far larger, brighter, and stranger than anything ever recorded. Catalogued as C-2025 R2, it's now simply called SWAN. But what truly froze the scientific community wasn't its brilliance, it was the timing. Because another object, the already infamous 3I, Atlas, was also inbound, racing toward the Sun from the exact opposite side of the sky. Two interstellar objects, both anomalous, both approaching within the same 10-day window, both concealed at their closest moments by the blinding glare of the Sun. The odds of such a synchronized arrival are so microscopic that many astronomers stopped calling it coincidence. Some started calling it a mission. If one interstellar visitor was strange enough, two arriving together, one a nimble, erratic wanderer, the other a towering, radiant fortress, suggested something coordinated. As new data streamed in, SWAN's nature grew even more unsettling. Its surface reflected metallic signatures, nickel, cobalt, and titanium, materials used to forge spacecraft, not natural comets. While typical comets crumble under solar heat, SWAN seemed protected, its luminosity unnaturally stable. Its massive tail pulsed with rhythmic shifts, not chaotic vapor but controlled microthrusts, as if something was guiding its path. Imagine a planet-sized vessel gliding through the solar wind, its shimmering halo less like gas and more like an electromagnetic shield. That's what scientists were now seeing, a fortress drifting through the void. Atlas, by contrast, behaved like a drone, agile, reactive, capable of sharp accelerations and color-shifting emissions. Together, they appeared less like cosmic debris and more like two halves of a single operation, one scout, one command. When astronomers mapped their trajectories, an impossible pattern emerged. SWAN approached from Aquarius, Atlas from Sagittarius, opposite corners of the sky, separated by nearly a quarter of the celestial sphere. Yet both crossed into the inner solar system at almost identical distances, reaching perihelion just 3 days apart. Random comets don't behave like this. Their paths scatter across centuries. This looked deliberate. Then came the blackout. From October 8 to 18, the Sun's glare obscured all telescopic vision, blinding Earth's observatories during the exact days when SWAN and Atlas reached their closest proximity, to the Sun and to each other. No one could see what happened. It was a celestial rendezvous under perfect concealment. For some, this was the final proof. It wasn't coincidence, it was coordination. Energy readings deepened the mystery. Atlas emitted bursts of acceleration requiring power equivalent to 10 nuclear plants. But SWAN dwarfed that. Its radiance implied energy output 10,000 gigawatts, exceeding Earth's entire power grid. No natural body could sustain that. The pulses followed patterns, consistent enough to resemble signals, structured, repeating, encoded. Some began calling it a beacon, not a comet. If Atlas was a probe, SWAN might be its mothership, a colossal construct surviving eons in interstellar space, returning on a 22,000-year cycle. That means it could have passed Earth during the last ice age, its brilliance etched into human memory as myth or prophecy. Carvings at Göbekli Tepe and other ancient sites began drawing new attention: spirals, radiant arcs, celestial beings. All possibly echoes of SWAN's previous arrival. But as curiosity peaked, silence fell. NASA, ESA, and other agencies restricted data, cutting off live telemetry, citing solar conjunction safety. Yet insiders leaked a different story. explicit orders to withhold raw imaging, to deny data requests, to reroute observations. It wasn't just solar interference. It was a controlled blackout. Independent astronomers refused to accept the silence. Underground networks like the Aberrode Tracker Collective and Bill Gray's Distributed Telescope Array kept watching, piecing together fragments of evidence. What they found only fueled the fire. Atlas and SWAN weren't drifting. They were maneuvering, synchronizing, communicating. Each burst of Atlas's tail matched micropulses in SWAN's luminous field. The rhythm wasn't random. It was a dialogue. And the more scientists observed, the more it resembled coordination between two engineered systems, one agile and small, the other massive and shielded, both converging within a narrow solar corridor, hidden behind the blinding sun. Then came the most chilling discovery of all, the signal. SWAN began emitting structured radiation between soft X-rays and gamma bands, frequencies nearly silent in the natural universe. These emissions overloaded ground sensors, shutting down prototype detectors in Australia. The pattern wasn't noise. It was structured, layered like code. And its destination wasn't Earth. It was the Moon. NASA's Deep Space Network traced the burst to a region rich in mascons, dense gravitational anomalies beneath the lunar crust. For decades, no one understood why they existed. Now, theorists whispered, what if they weren't geological at all? What if they were dormant systems, waiting for activation? Soon after, magnetometers across Earth detected synchronized pulses every 43 seconds, matching SWAN's emission cycles. Seismographs registered faint vibrations across continents, too regular to be tectonic. Migratory animals began shifting patterns as if responding to an invisible field. Earth itself seemed to resonate with SWAN's presence, as though the planet was part of a system awakening. Amid growing panic, leaks surfaced about a classified probe launched towards SWAN. Designed with high-energy particle scanners, it transmitted data for only minutes before its signal cut out, its final image showing a perfect reflection of itself, as if SWAN had scanned it back. Analysts called it an energy wall, a defense lattice. SWAN wasn't just aware, it was reactive. Spectroscopic data added one final enigma. Traces of complex organic molecules, precisely structured, far more refined than any found in natural comets. Some scientists proposed that SWAN could be a carrier of life, a seed ship built to distribute organic matter across galaxies. Atlas might be its scout, surveying habitable systems, while SWAN delivers or retrieves biological material. Then, during one of SWAN's strongest pulses, both Voyager spacecraft, billions of kilometers away, sent unplanned data bursts, encrypted and indecipherable, as if responding to a command. That coincidence broke the last wall of skepticism. What if this isn't the beginning of an event, but the continuation of one? What if Oumuamua in 2017 was only the first piece, the lock, and Atlas and SWAN together are the key? The James Webb Space Telescope was meant to look outward, to uncover the universe's origin. But perhaps, unknowingly, it has triggered a response. SWAN and Atlas didn't just arrive. They aligned, synchronized, and vanished into the sun's glare as if completing a sequence. The truth may be unsettling. We were never the observers. We were the observed. SWAN's pulses through Earth's magnetic field, its signal to the Moon, its synchrony with ancient patterns, all suggest our planet has been part of this design long before we were aware. The fortress and the drone may not be random visitors. They might be components of a system that includes us. Whether for contact, seeding, or activation, the purpose remains hidden. But the silence from the agencies and the blackout imposed on our instruments speak louder than words. Because sometimes, the act of observation itself is the signal. And maybe, just maybe, the cosmos has finally answered back.